Alrighty, so today is November 20th, 2018. It's a Tuesday. And this morning we were kind of mainly watching three stocks. There were two stocks that were really the main ones, and then YECO popped up after around 15 minutes. So first one we're going to talk about is EARS, and this one had the news this morning, and this one had a very nice morning spike. EARS, you can see here's the news on equity feed. Auris Medical announces results of pre-IND meeting with FDA. Just open this up. So FDA is okay with the planned conduct of a phase 1 trial and phase 2 trial. So they're letting EARS I think start these trials. Yeah, so that's good news, once a company is able to research and test their product. Of course that will give lots of hype to the company, because later in the future, essentially what it means is that they can make revenues off of that product once they pass all the phase 1, 2, and 3 trials. So that's why EARS got this massive rally. It went from like $0.50 up to 75 cents, and that's a very strong move. Now I didn't play this move. I was way too tired in the morning to want to trade the first hour, so I just avoided it. But let's just look at these levels and just break it down. So one of the levels I had on my chart already from the past was this line right here, the 62-cent line. I'm not exactly sure where this line came from. Let's just try to look back and see. There's just so many lines on my chart. Let me just clean this up a bit. Looks like it came from the end of October. This area I think is where that was from, but you can see today that level held perfectly for this little dip buy. So that's one thing that I always recommend, whenever you guys are doing your charting, always, even if you're not going to trade the stock, just draw out your levels of support and resistance that you see, because you never know, maybe maybe that level is going to be relevant in the future, and today it was very relevant and it held the support perfectly. It ran from the 62 up to 73, so 10 cents a share on this stock, and that's like a 18-20% gain in 4 minutes. So one of the main ways to play this one, though, however, in my opinion, would have been just to use a line chart and then just buy the breakout over 67 and then take profits pretty quickly. It did have this nice little breakout pattern here. You can see it was in a very tight range from the round number up to this line. You can see right here. It was very tight in this range. It was holding support very well, but then the breakout was very lackluster. I guess it just had too much volume too fast, and it just got stuffed, and then it just really collapsed. And there's no real way to to predict this. It's no real way to have this not happen. The best way to avoid this type of situation is to try to buy into the support, buy into that round number, load up your size here, and then once it breaks out, take partial profits. Once it goes a bit higher, take partial profits, and then you can hold the rest, and then you take the rest off once it breaks through the support. So no real reason why this happened. It just got really stuffed once it had this breakout and then just reclaimed the previous resistance. It just lost all of its volume completely, and I guess lots of people had their stop orders, and once it started to fall, everyone just panicked and got out. I mean, one thing you can notice is that these two candles are almost perfectly the same amount of volume. So I guess one thing you could speculate on what happened is that everyone who bought here, most didn't take their profits, and they got out here. Now, of course, we can never really know 100%, but that's just what I like kind of see there. After that, EARS, it just got really demolished under VWAP. See, nice resistance at VWAP, clear rejection, and now just fading all day. Other one I want to talk about actually is ORPN, because I know this one was looking very strong in the morning, but I was really cautious. And I said, be very careful because it can become an all-day fader. Let me just bring that up real quick. So here's my commentary on ORPN. You can see it's 640. I said there's resistance at 170. Then I said it rejected 170. And then I said, be careful. It looks like it could be an all-day fader. And that's exactly what happened. So all-day fader is essentially a stock that has like a nice like volume in the morning, but then it just cannot hold over VWAP, and then it just gets slammed down, and then it never goes back above VWAP all day, and it just loses all its volume. Look at the volume bars here. Very, very, very stark difference. And if we look at the volume profile, you can see it even more clearly how many bag holders are in the 160s, 170s. And essentially what that means is that whenever it bounces, whenever it pops, everyone who is bag holding is going to want to get out. So each bounce is going to have lots of selling pressure, and lots of shorts know this, and they're going to be using VWAP right here to short into. So that's why I was really worried about ORPN. It had no news, and it just looked like it was very heavy. And we've seen this happen on this name many times. If we look at the daily chart, you can see that there's lots of big red candles, which means that it always ends up red on the day somehow. So always look at the daily chart, always look at these candles, and you can see, you know, this one red overall, red overall, red overall. And what that essentially means is that yes, it had like a morning spike, however then it faded all day and even went red. So that's a very clear example of an all-day fader. If you are a long trader, you really want to avoid those. Mainly because it will be really hard to get out, like once you don't cut the loss too soon. So there's ORPN. Last but not least, ANY. This is the only one that looks like it could have any potential later on this day. It is in a very nice channel between 362 and 314. You can see it's getting some volume right now. Very big pop in volume there. And essentially how I got these lines is that I just used a line chart. So if you switch over to the line chart, you can very clearly see that there is obvious double top so far at 362, 363-ish. And the support, I got the support off of this line right here, 314. So right now it's in a very nice channel, and it is kind of trapping shorts. What I mean by that is that you can see right here, it like looked like it was going to be downtrending under VWAP. It rejected at one time and like 2 times here, so that means lots of people were like making their positions to go short, but then it just popped above, and now it's breaking out and squeezing to new highs. So ANY right now is breaking out. So we'll see if this volume can hold itself. One thing about this week is that it is a holiday week. Markets are going to be closed on Thursday, and the markets will close early on Friday. So one thing that you can kind of assume from that is that overall we're going to have less and less volume once the week like progresses. And that could mean not as much volatility, not as many traders are using their money. So you have to be careful, because right now ANY volume isn't really matching that big pop. But so far we did break over that 362 level. Overall resistance is 375 because it did test that. However, the main resistance in my opinion was that 362. So now we just need to hold above this and then it should easily squeeze through. And I did note that 314 level in the chat. So let me just bring that up real quick. Where is it? ANY support is 314. And like I said, I got that from using the line chart, and I just looked at the low of the day, like once it had its morning spike, and that is the overall main level of support. Yeah, there's support at 319, 325, but we want to get the extreme lines. So 314 is a line that like I pointed out, and you can see it bounced off there basically perfectly. So if you left your orders down there, you would be very well in the money, up 60 cents a share almost, and that's like 20% on this name. So see if this can break out further, but right now it's going pretty good. It's holding still, but it really needs to get over 375 soon to really get the big parabolic move in. If it doesn't do that soon, then it's just gonna get stuffed. Let me just look at all these charts real quick. So you can see on the 30-minute chart, we kind of have this big ABCD pattern. And if we look at 30-minute chart, we do have big resistance at 375 as well. So that's a very good thing to note. That's where it stopped today. So we're not completely clear yet. But yeah, ANY did not have any news. Sean asks, when you're looking at your line chart, what time frame are you setting it at? Usually I just use the 1 minute time frame, but of course you can look at all the time frames. You just have to understand that once you use a larger time frame, it's going to leave a lot of information out, because like right now, here we can really clearly see all the different levels and stuff. But if we switch over to a 30-minute chart, those kind of get obscured. You know what I mean? They kind of get obscured. But yeah, so ANY did not have any news today. So right now it's just running on being a low float and just the overall daily chart setup it has. So those are the main stocks we saw today. As I've said in the past, I'm really trying just to move my trading day later on into the morning, just so I can capitalize on trading these big breakouts. However, I am still watching the morning, of course, because having trades like EARS where you can make 20% in like 3-4 minutes, that'd be very beneficial as well. You just have to really be careful of all of these plays that are so short biased, like ORPN and so forth. So other than that, I do not see anything else that's really holding up. YECO was one that was on watch for a bit, but that was just a continuation bounce from yesterday, and overall volume has died off completely, and it's just going nowhere. So really the main one I'm watching going throughout this day is ANY, and then I guess EARS as well. However, this is really also dying off and under VWAP, so not really my ideal situation. And over here, ANY, I was just about to say, it's lost lots of its volume. It's not looking so strong. So it's just one of those days. Alrighty, so that was just a quick example of exactly what happens in the TradeBuddy daily recap webinar. I do these webinars every single day at around 2 hours after market open, just to recap with my team on exactly what happened in the morning and what stocks to watch going into the day. Like I said, I do these every single day, and it's a part of the TradeBuddy package that you can get on our website. You get access to our chat room, our watch lists, our scanners. You can watch my screen every single day, use my scanners, use my charts, use my lines. And of course, you can be a part of the chat room where you can ask me and any other trader questions every single day, basically 24/7. So if you want to check that out, link is down below. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.